Fresh off an emotional Week 1 win against UTEP, Oklahoma welcomes Kent State to Norman. Here's a quick breakdown of each team's current status, keys to victory, and final prediction for the game. Let's start with Oklahoma. The Sooners did exactly what they were supposed to do Week 1 against UTEP. The change in coaching staff was evident from the first drive. Fast would be an understatement. Drive number 1, 5 plays, 75 yards, 1 minute, 17 seconds. Drive number 2, 6 plays, 93 yards, 1 minute 48 seconds. Next drive, 2 plays, 55 yards, 30 seconds. I think you catch my drift. This reminds me of the Sam Bradford-led Sooners but in hyperdrive. Now that's not to say the offense was perfect. I would have liked to see more runs, especially earlier in the game. But Dylan Gabriel took care of the ball, all-purpose talent Braden Willis showed out with 2 touchdowns and many key blocks, and the Sooners offense played well throughout the game. Defensively, fans expect a monster, but let's be clear, this is game 1 with a completely new system being implemented, so let's pump the brakes a little bit. Tackling was much improved, and there were a variety of great blitzes pressuring UTEP quarterback Gavin Hardison. There was room to improve in zone coverage where oftentimes UTEP receivers would find holes, but they were quickly met by a convoy of Sooner defenders. And that was part of the game plan. Defensive coordinator Ted Roof mentioned after the game that the zone was ran in an effort to keep UTEP from breaking out into big plays behind the defense, which has been key for that program. The Sooners stopped that from happening, and although it wasn't the dream defensive performance many had hoped for, it was certainly better than last year and a huge step in the right direction. With game 1 in the books, we haven't really learned much about how this team will fare in Big 12 play. And honestly, we might not learn more this week against Kent State. Kent State is no stranger to facing high-level competition, so they will be right at home during their visit to Norman. And they don't plan on just rolling over. Last season's MAC runner-ups come into this year looking to once again compete for a conference title. Although quarterback Dustin Crum, the 2021 MAC Player of the Year, is gone, Colin Schlee takes the reins of a high-powered offense that finished 4th in the nation in yards per game last year. A stellar backfield that rushed for over 2,000 yards combined returns, along with junior wide receiver Dante Cephas, who put up 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns last season, earning all MAC honors. Defensively, the Flashes returned 7 starters, including 2 senior safeties that will be looking to bolster the secondary. In fact, the starters on both sides of the ball will be made up of nearly all upperclassmen, including transfers and grad students. Leadership and experience will not be an issue for this team. Kent State started this season with their 3rd toughest opponent of the year in Washington. While they tried to get into their patented speed offense, they never managed to get it out of first gear, and were down 21-7 by the end of the first quarter. Unfortunately, the Flashes were not able to get back into striking distance, losing 45-20. If Kent State wants to compete in this game, they will have to put points on the board. The trio of Colin Schlee, Marquise Cooper, and Dante Cephas will need to get on the same page and fast. Kent State's defense should be used to practicing against a speedy offense, but this Sooners team presents a whole other challenge. The Kent State defense will need to get things sorted out quickly, because if they don't, you can plan on Oklahoma eclipsing the half-century mark. Kent State averaged 6.2 yards per rush in 2021. However, in their opener, starting running back Marquise Cooper ran for just 36 yards. They will need to do more damage on the ground if they hope to contend with the Sooners. Yes, Oklahoma won the turnover battle in Week 1, but it was due to an interception on the final offensive possession of the game. Although getting turnovers might not be necessary to win this one, Kent State turned it over 3 times last week. So I expect this Sooners defense to take advantage. By the end of the UTEP game, Oklahoma had a balanced offensive production. But to start the second quarter, the Sooners had 2 straight drives ending in punts. The next drive ended in a touchdown. Guess what? It started with 4 straight run plays, and 8 of the 11 plays called were on the ground. It finished with a passing touchdown from Gabriel to Willis, a glowing reminder that the run game opens up the passing game. OU finished the game with 7 penalties for 59 yards. While it might not seem like a lot, every yard counts, especially against great teams. A few of those false start penalties were likely a product of the team continuing to get used to this up-tempo offense, and I expect things to be fixed by the time Big 12 play rolls around. Kent State is no stranger to playing tough teams on the road, so they won't be intimidated by the moment. That being said, in their games against Texas A&M and Iowa last year, they got beaten handily, and their game against Washington didn't strike much fear in my prediction. I expect this theme to continue. Oklahoma wins this one 55-17. If you want to see why Oklahoma will thrive in the SEC, check out this video here, and as always, have a great day and see y'all at the next one.